What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and we have another late night review. So, quiet. Mason's in session. That was really weird. I won't ever say that again. So, this is the Librarians, Season 2, Episode 4, I believe. And fairly interesting. Some interesting stuff going on with the story and how it's progressing, because I wondered if it was going to be about Moriarty and Prospero and their plan to take over the world, trying to stop them. But it's become actually a bit more about the library and how it's in disarray and how magic is getting out there and how hard it's becoming to hide magic. So I kind of like that. I like that it's not just, oh, it's the bad guys, we gotta stop the bad guys. It's almost like trying to stop yourself type thing. When you're unable to control your side of the spectrum. So anyway, let's get into it. This is the Librarians and the cost of education, so a bit of wordplay there, huh? It's all based at a college. There are people that are disappearing. I know I've talked about this before, but the Librarians is very cheesy, but it's not cheesy in a, God, this is so stupid, why am I watching this? It's kind of cheesy in a unique way. It's got its own little feel to it. And you really felt it in this episode. Like, they're talking to one of the head cheerleaders about what happened with the mascot disappearing. And she's just talking about all these people just disappearing and never hearing from them again. Like, oh, it just happens. And it was Eve and Cassandra were just, no, it doesn't. This stuff does not just happen. But she's just like, yeah, that one to five people that disappear every year, it happens. And that one time the bus with the sports team, everybody disappeared except for the clothes. Weird, right? But it happens. And it was just so funny. She said something, same thing about like a professor later on. Oh, it just happens. It's like they were just unwilling to accept that anything supernatural was involved. It was all just coincidence. This stuff just happens. So I thought that was really funny. But the basis of this is they meet this girl named Lucy, and she's very smart, kind of like Cassandra smart, but she creates like some sort of science thing that's like way beyond my, particle accelerator or something like that. And because of the way the school is set and all of the magical elements surrounding the school, this particle accelerator kind of affected that and opened up a rift, which is allowing this monster to attack. And they find out later the monster is only attacking people with very high ego. So anyway, that's the main story there. I was a little bit worried. It kind of happened, but whenever they were talking to Lucy and Cassandra was like, we can trust her, and she let me let her help and all this stuff, I was like, she's gonna turn out to be the bad guy, isn't she? But it was okay because she was the cause of it, but not purposefully. Because they were kind of making it sound like somebody was summoning this monster to attack people. So I was worried that it was going to be her. She's the bad guy, and I'm like, come on. But no, she didn't realize what she was doing. She affected something, and but anyway, so they find out all of this stuff about the ego and pride and all that, and how this monster only attacks prideful people, and it only attacks these specific buildings, and it's in the shape of a pentagram, and it's all of this really weird magic stuff, and nobody's willing to accept that it's magic except for this girl Lucy. And so, like I said, the main basis going from this is that Jenkins and Cassandra kind of get into a little argument about magic and the fact that it's out there. People see that it's out there. and it's hard for them to do anything about that. Um, so it's just you kind of understand both sides. Like on the one hand, if magic does get out there, it can and will be dangerous. But on the other hand, it already is out there, so it's kind of like, how many times are we just going to explain this away with, oh, you're just hallucinating, or oh, you had something weird to drink, or anything like that. So you see both sides of it. And like I said, this is becoming more and more of a conflict for them. Uh, but where it gets really weird is Cassandra, she goes against Jenkins' orders and decides to open up a rift, having the monster kind of track Ezekiel because, he's very arrogant. And she's going to open up the rift, hold it open so she can go in and get Lucy and get her out. And so she does open it up. They do attract the monster with Ezekiel's pride. And very interesting twist in that the mascot and the professor don't make it out. Like, it just shows their clothes, like, lying on the ground when she meets Lucy. And she's like, wow, like, that's... And I honestly thought that maybe one of them wasn't going to make it out because it's just not this type of... It's not really in this show's nature to just kill off people like that. Most of the time it's like, oh, we're going to get everybody out alive and it's all going to be okay. So it was very weird to see just the professor and the mascot don't make it out. So she gets to Lucy, they're running, the monster grabs Cassandra's heel, and is about to attack. I'm just like, oh my god, Cassandra's dead. And then freezes, and she ends up in this lake, and there are these 3 girls there. And they're talking to her about how she's one of them, and that she sees the science in magic. And it was very bizarre, just kind of out of nowhere. And they talk about it a little bit. She talks about it with Jenkins, and he talks about how he knows who they are. It was very rushed, and just kind of, like I said, out of nowhere. I wonder if they're going to touch on that any later. They probably will, because it kind of seems like a big deal. But yeah, she gets saved by these 3 girls who apparently want her to join their cult, and of course she says I'm a librarian, I've got my other duties. So, but very interesting to just kind of throw that in there and not really explain it very well. I don't know, it was just, if I missed something, I'm sorry, but I didn't get what was going on there. Like, it was just so out of nowhere, and I didn't understand why they chose that precise moment to intervene and invite her, but they said something about because she had the courage to step into the rift or whatever. But anyway, so like I said, it was very, very interesting. Very interesting episode. A lot of information thrown, at the audience. Just, trying to figure out what's going on, what's going to happen next. Kind of furthering the story too for this season, and I like where it's going. So let's see, a couple other things to talk about, just moments that I enjoyed and didn't enjoy. On the one hand, I loved seeing Stone in the architecture class. It was so funny and so enjoyable, because I'm still picturing what's his name? His character from Leverage, Spencer. I'm still picturing Spencer. And so seeing him up there talking, just getting all excited about architecture and talking about like the foundation, like he just gets so into it. It's so funny to watch him get so into it and get really passionate about that. I don't know why. It's so funny to me. So I really like that. And like I said, the quirky nature of some of these people, it's enjoyable. It's not so like cheesy to where you're just like, dude, did you even read the script? Did you even direct these people? It's cheesy on purpose. It's very unique. Um, but there were a couple things that didn't work for me. On the one hand, Lucy, after you find out about the monster and the fact that it wants people who have a lot of pride, she wasn't very like prideful. She was quirky. She wanted to know more about magic. She was curious. She very much reminded me of Cassandra. And then just out of nowhere, once they find out this information about the pride, she's like, "I'm Lucy, whatever, and I'm gonna do this. Me, I figured it out." And it just, I don't know. It just seemed like it was a plot point thrown in. Like, don't get me wrong. I understood it. It felt forced. It felt like, well, we gotta throw Lucy in danger somehow, so now she's prideful. Um, so it felt a little forced just for the sake of the plot, just so that now the monster's coming after her because she's got a lot of pride. Um, there's one other thing. Oh, they did one of those stupid fake out moments that just it wasn't. I don't know if it was supposed to be funny, but it just felt like it was wasting time. They get into this house where the mascot disappeared, and they're down in the basement, and it looks like there's this ceremony going on, and like the basement's lined in this weird black stone, and you're just like, what is this? And then it's a beer pong tournament, and you're just like, really? Like, you just wasted, what, 5 minutes on this? Really? Like, that was stupid. It's not even that funny. So, I don't know, maybe some people found it funny and I just didn't, but I'm the one with this thing, yeah, I'm the one with the YouTube channel, so in my opinion. But like I said, just didn't really work for me, wasn't that funny, felt like a waste of time. But I think that was it. The rest of this episode was either funny or interesting or building the plot for later. So, it was another good episode. Um, I don't know how this season is gonna go from here. I don't know whether or not Jenkins is finally gonna admit that he admitted that she was right about the magic, but he still seems like he wants to keep this all under wraps. Like he obviously, it's not his fault. Like, he's been doing this for so long. He's one of the Knights of the Round Table, so he's been doing this for so long that he has this duty to the library to keep this all under wraps. So it's not like he's unjustified in what he's saying. It's just you see Cassandra's side a bit more because yes, magic is out there, and yes, people are finding out about it, and yes, it's almost impossible to keep this hidden much longer. So I'm very curious to see whose side is going to win, and I'm excited to see where they're going to take it from here. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace out.